Hi everyone, welcome to Bloomingdale's On Screen. I'm Ariel Saboni, Fashion Director at Bloomingdale's, and I'm so excited for our Charlotte Tilbury Masterclass. Today we are excited to introduce Sofia Tilbury. She is a celebrity makeup artist, brand ambassador, and content creator for Charlotte Tilbury. She also happens to be Charlotte's niece and is joining us all the way from London. We'll get to watch along as she applies a full face of Charlotte Tilbury makeup featuring the new Look of Love collection. She'll teach us how to achieve that effortless glow, share her favorite products, as well as some insider tips and tricks. Sofia will be accompanied by her sister, Bella Brookman Tilbury, as her gorgeous model, as well as Barry King, Charlotte Tilbury National Pro Makeup Artist, who will also double as our host for the event today. As always, we'd love to hear from you during the event, so please feel free to ask any questions you have by hitting the Q&A button on your screen or just dropping your questions directly in the chat. So without any further ado, please welcome Barry.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. I am so happy to be here and I'm so happy to be with all of you. And this is going to be such a fun class because we get to see Sofia in action, sharing her tips and tricks. As Ariel mentioned, I am a national pro artist for Charlotte Tilbury in North America, and I am so lucky I get to travel the world with Charlotte. I get to take care of some of her celebrity clients, and I even get to do her makeup sometimes, which is the ultimate. So we are going to be sharing tips and tricks left and right. So make sure that you are following along. If you're in store, you have all of your beautiful CT artists around to answer any questions. And if you're tuning in from home, feel free to brush along with us because this is a whole family affair. So as Ariel mentioned too, like Sofia and Bella are both here, which is super exciting. So Sofia, you may have recognized her. She is an iconic celebrity makeup artist in her own right, just like her auntie Charlotte. And she also is a brand ambassador and she works on product development. I mean, there really isn't anything that she doesn't do. And Bella, her sister, we're so lucky, she's a marketing genius. So she gets to work with a lot of marketing initiatives with our brand. And you also might recognize her because she is a face for a lot of our campaigns as a model herself. So excited to welcome Sofia and Bella. There they are.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, Barry.
Oh my gosh, you both look so stunning and gorge. And Bella, you don't even have makeup on yet. And look at that skin. It's like
the magic skincare. It's Charlotte's magic skincare.
Yeah.
It's
oh my gosh.
amazing. Hey,
I'm
gorge.
so excited to have you guys.
Honestly, we're so excited to be here to be doing an amazing masterclass with Bloomingdale's.
And
And
we're so excited.
Barry, you said so many sweet things before. Thank you. Honestly, you're
They're all
so
true.
lovely.
Yeah.
But we're so excited to be doing this masterclass together. Today, I am going to be doing my little sister Bella's makeup, and we're going to be creating the Look of Love on Bella. And we're going to be using the, not the Blush Beauty, I have it here. Sorry, the Glowing Beauty palette, which I am actually wearing right now, and I'm obsessed with it. This look is all about the way you look and feel when you're in love, and Charlotte wanted to kind of bottle that look up and put it in a makeup collection. I really feel like she's done it.
No, she really has.
You know?
Honestly, between the lip tints and the lipsticks and the instant look in the palettes, like it gives you that kind of rosy glow, fresh.
Yeah,
it's just like anything you want, whether you're going to a wedding, you are the bride, any kind of,
it's just kind of like enhancing your natural beauty, you know, like she's put like these gorgeous kind of flush pink tones and brown tones, and it's just kind of the natural tones that you would have in your own skin tone. So it just naturally just makes you look really beautiful, which I love. And I honestly think this is one of my favorite collections that Charlotte has come out with.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
But Barry, I wanted to ask you, we know that Bloomingdale's have a bridal registry, which is amazing.
Yes, which is perfect because again, like you're saying, this Look of Love collection was really inspired by like that glow when you're in love, which is so perfect for weddings. So at Bloomingdale's for the month of June, we are being featured in the Bloomingdale's Bridal Registry. So if you are getting married, if you know someone that's getting married, make sure to stop by your local Bloomingdale's and shop the curated assortment of Charlotte products because there's some goodies in there for you that are all
really
bridal.
Are amazing. They're so beautiful as well. It's like the perfect accessory.
I know.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't I wouldn't even like hate it if I just pretended like I was getting married to go see products, because the reality is, and I'm sure you both agree, that bridal makeup is so timeless. You can wear it all the time. You know, it's like you just want to look healthy and glowing and fresh and like yourself. So even if we're not getting married, go check it out, because there's oh my gosh, this is so much fun. What are you saying?
Also, guys, where is everyone tuning in from? Where are you tuning in from? Are any of you brides? You don't have to be a bride, but are you getting married? Are you going to a wedding? Are you a bridesmaid? Are you a maid of honor? Are you a mother of a bride? Whatever you are, please let us know in the comments. I'd love to know. And okay, should we get started with the makeover?
Oh my gosh, by the way, I'm looking at the chats. There's people from everywhere. So Brooklyn, Texas, San Diego, Vancouver, Arizona.
All the way in London, and this can happen.
I know.
Vancouver. You guys, we're international right now. It's real.
Also, I want to say hello to the store, because I know there's a bunch of classes going on in the store. So hey everyone. Thank you for being here. This is the first time I'm doing a makeover on someone on a Zoom. I've always done it on myself. So I'm going to try and be as fast as I can be, because I'm an absolute perfectionist, but I will try and do a feline flick in 1 minute. Let's see if it works. Should we talk about skincare?
Yeah. So, you know, Charlotte always says her famous line, you can't have a beautiful painting without a beautiful canvas.
Yeah, so
all the time.
So I've prepped Bella's skin with her Super Radiance Resurfacing Facial. Barry, I know you're obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with this. Oh my God.
I can't live without.
This like gave me a new face.
Right?
I know, it literally, like, you have like tight, like smooth, glowing skin, and it's just like also because for my skin, I was always afraid of exfoliators, and I always felt they kind of were quite painful on my skin, and this kind of sloughs off the dead skin cells, and it just leaves you with like a gleaming glow.
Honestly, look at Barry's hand. Like, it really does just kind of renew your skin. And like, if you've got an event coming up, or you've got your wedding coming up, use this for a month and your skin will completely renew. It's an exfoliative mask, and it's an acid blend mask. So you've got AHA, BHA, PHA in it. It works for all different skin types, sensitive, whatever. And it really just kind of sloughs off all the dead skin cells and kind of renews your skin. But then it also adds a lot of radiance. So your skin just looks renewed, glowing, and just, oh, it's amazing. I used it yesterday and it completely saved my skin, because my skin was so dry recently.
I feel like that's the biggest difference too, is that a lot of other AHA, BHAs, well, first of all, they don't always have the PHA either, but this is so balmy and it's so hydrating at the same time. Usually you have to use multiple products to do
100%.
Right? It's, I mean, normally a game changer.
Normally you'd use like an acid blend, and then you'd be like, oh my God, my skin is stripped. I need to add some like moisture into my skin. Whereas like with this, it has the moisture and it cleanses your skin with the acids and cleans your skin and takes off those dead skin cells. So it's amazing, guys. Use that for a month before you go to an event or before you're getting married. It will sort you out. So we've used that on Bella. Next product we've used is this guy here, the Magic Serum Crystal Elixir. I love it. You can see how much I use this. Like, I'm obsessed. This is amazing, just because, you know, Barry, you know about it. It's got gorgeous ingredients in it. It's got things like niacinamide in it, which is extremely good for minimizing the appearance of pores. I suffer from really open pores. I wear a lot of makeup, so this really helps me out. It's also got things like
peptide. No?
It's got oh my God, what's it called?
It's got Replexium.
It's got Replexium in it, polyglutamic acid. It's got
like super. It's like a hydration powerhouse. Polyglutamic acid. It just, and partnered with the Super Radiance Resurfacing Facial, it is just like your skin. You'll just be glowing. Like the sun, honestly.
It's
like,
amazing.
You'll be walking down the street and everyone will be like, what have you done? And it's, you know, it's Super Radiance and Magic Serum. And the Super Radiance, when you get it, it has a little mini Magic Serum for you to trial with it.
So you get 2 in 1, basically.
And it's infused with crystals, and I need all of the crystals.
Last
year.
Me too. I'm like, pour it everywhere. The next thing that we use is Charlotte's Magic Eye Rescue. This is a game changer. I love this product. You know, before you get married, I think a lot of people don't have a lot of sleep, as from what I've heard. People are very excited about the day. You can't get sleep. You're just excited about it, or you're nervous, or you're worrying about it. So it's really, really important to kind of take care of your skin and try and get as much sleep. So this really helps to kind of, if you get a lot of tiredness or puffiness around your eyes, it really helps to depuff. And that's the one thing for me. When I wake up, I have the puffiest eyes. Like my eyes look 10 times smaller. So this really helps to kind of depuff. It's got time release retinol. So it's really great for fine lines and wrinkles. So we've used that. So it's really important to use this. It's lovely. And I know a lot of people use this product.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with Magic Eye Rescue.
It's got like a fondue texture to it. It's just so like, oh, I love it. Next product we've used is, I think everyone on this call will know this product, because this is like one of the most famous products. It's Charlotte's Magic Cream.
It's where it started.
This is where the brand started, from the backstage at fashion shows with celebrities and supermodels to the red carpet. This is the one product. It's a moisturizer. It's a makeup primer.
And it's perfect for the wedding day. It gives you an instant glow in 28 seconds. We just did trials and it's an instant, like honestly, when my skin's dry and I feel a bit like depressed looking in the mirror, I'm like, oh, I look so tired and dull, and this, you literally just put it all over and you instantly just like, you feel that like, glowing difference.
100%. It's just that instant hydration, instant transformation when you put it on. You know, like I had really dry skin yesterday and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? I need to like help myself out. And I used the mask and then I use the Magic Cream, and this is the cream that I use on every celebrity client. Whenever I'm doing a celebrity, this is the product I put on their skin, because I know if they've been on a plane that's had air conditioning, they're tired, their skin is dry, this is the product that's going to really help them out in like 20 seconds. So this is the product I put on everyone.
And it also acts as like the perfect priming partner to your makeup. It just creates such a good base. And also
its foundation sits beautifully on this product. So I haven't added this on, but I'm going to add a bit of this on now with Bella.
It's so crazy too. So I've been putting the products on the back of this hand and not this one. And when you look at that,
it's glowing. Look at that.
But like my skin looks like firmer and more taut. Like this is not jamming. This is like, it's just crazy how instantly you do see that difference.
Oh my God, see?
It's instant results, Charlotte. Especially on your wedding day, you know, like if you've been tired, you haven't slept well, do the Magic Eye Rescue, instantly depuff, have amazing under eyes, and then you put on the Magic Cream, and no matter what kind of skin. I mean, I know I've been hungover before and it's literally just transformed. I'm like instantly alive again.
I love the smell of it too, because it has that like frangipani in there, and it almost is just like kind of aromatherapy.
And it's got the rose hip oil, and it's just like, it's so amazing.
I love it.
I love it.
Okay, next product. I'm going to be using the Hollywood Flawless filter. Now, guys, this is like a social media filter in a bottle. It's kind of like that Paris filter you get on Instagram where you like everything soft focuses and like you just look radiant and glowing, and just like, this is it in a jar. It is the most amazing product. Anyone here, have you tried this product? It is... Everyone always asks me, what is this product? Is it a foundation? Is it a highlighter? I don't understand this product. What is it? And I'm like, it is a mix. It's a glow boosting. It's a glow booster. So it basically is, you can use it as a primer. You can mix it in with your foundation to make it more dewy and glowy. You can use it as a highlighter on top of your makeup, which is amazing. And I do it all three ways.
I mean, I like put dollops and dollops, like so much of it all over my face underneath my foundation. And it just gives me that kind of radiance from within.
And also it's so sheer light, guys, that you really like, you don't have to find your perfect match with this, right? It's not like a foundation where you're like, what is my match? Like I can really bounce between 3 different shades, depending if I want it to be a bit more light, a bit more highlighty, or do I want something that's going to kind of give me a little bit of a tan? And do I want it to be a little bit darker? So there's loads of different ways you can wear this. And I'm just using this on the high points of Bella's face. And I'm quite generous with this. Bella's got combination skin, I'd say, maybe slightly more on the dry side sometimes. So I'm being quite generous with it, but I'd say if you have oilier skin, just use it on your high points. Don't use too much, and then you can just use powder in the T-zone to set. But I think this really does work for all skin types, you know, just because it gives you that kind of gorgeous glow. It doesn't give you that greasy glow. It gives you just like a really natural, beautiful glow.
Yeah, it does. It's literally, and like, it's exactly what you said earlier. It's a social media filter bottle. It really blurs, it smooths, and it just, the way for me it sits under foundation, especially the Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Like my skin, I always just feel, I go out leaving my house feeling so confident because I just know my skin is looking like glowy, perfect, airbrushed.
Also guys, I'm using the Magic Complexion brush to do this. So I'm just kind of buffing it into the skin in an upwards motion, like so, and just kind of gliding that on. And you can see how it's like instantly giving Bella like this really radiant, beautiful glow. And it's really natural.
It's so beautiful. I love how you were describing like the different ways to wear it, because I feel like that's the question that everybody asks, like, well, is it a foundation? And it's whatever you want it to be, which is exciting. But I love that I mean, it almost, because you have such a transparency to it, but it just pops your complexion. It's like if stained glass was a makeup product, like it's just kind of putting that like really beautiful, like kind of transparent filter that just makes it look ethereal, and it's not sparkly and it's not too much. It's just so natural.
Yeah, 100%. I love this product. And guys, I do think this is such a key product to anyone's wedding look. Like if you want to achieve that really gorgeous kind of radiant glow, this is your product. Like 100%. It is so beautiful. I love it.
It's my can't live without product.
I really think it's just an everyday product, but if you don't have it, you need to get it for your wedding day, you know?
Brittany in the chat said it's her favorite product.
Yeah, no, it's like, honestly, every single one of my friends who have used it have gone out and bought it because they're like, I just don't know what I did before without this. They're like, what did I do? Like, how did my makeup look without this before? Like, how did I ever function and do nice makeup?
I had that when Charlotte came out with the brand. I was like, how have I been using all these other products? How have I not known about these products?
How did this not exist? You know,
it's like life before the internet. You're like, I don't know. No, life before Hollywood Plus filter.
Okay, so I'm going to be using the Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I'm wearing that right now. This is such a beautiful foundation, guys. It is a full coverage, flawless foundation, but you know what, a little bit goes a long way. I feel like I'm quite a natural girl. I just use a little bit. I use a light wash, or sometimes I build it up if I'm suffering from a bit, like my rosacea's acted up and I needed a bit of extra coverage, or I've got a couple blemishes, which I do have at the moment. Then I use a little bit extra, but it is such an amazing foundation. Also, if you're getting pictured on the red carpet, or if you're getting pictured for your wedding day, this is a beautiful foundation. Also, it sits beautifully on the skin. You don't feel like you're wearing foundation.
It's not cakey.
It's not cakey at all. You can build it up, you can wear it down, and it just gives you just a beautiful base. And I love this foundation. So I'm using 5 Neutral. And you Barry, you were going to tell everyone about how people can find like their perfect shade.
Perfect shade. So we have over 44 different shades of this foundation, and they come in warm, cool, and neutral undertones. So you can go to any Bloomingdale's, you can ask any of our Charlotte artists, and they are all very well versed and very trained to be able to kind of help you find the perfect shade. But again, you know, you have your warm, you have your cool, you have your neutral. So whether you are more of kind of like a rosy undertone, or whether you're more of like a golden undertone, or whether you're just kind of right in between. And don't forget that your skin tone can change throughout the year. So now we're in summer, and a lot of the times, you know, people need a completely different foundation shade. I know my skin can change like 7 or 8 different shades, depending on how much I'm in the sun. So now's the perfect time to be able to kind of freshen up after we're coming out of last year and getting into summer. So this is the perfect time to be shade matched, but you always want to try a few different ones, kind of do some swatches. This foundation, it does optimize. So I don't know if you noticed when I first put it on, it looked a little lighter. And then as it kind of marinates with the skin, it kind of shifts like a mood ring to be able to really match the best to your skin. So it does optimize. So you want to give it a minute to kind of dry down to really see how it's going to play on your skin. But again, we have 44 shades. There's definitely probably more than one shade for everybody. You can definitely kind of stretch.
I switch between a 5N and a 5C, a 5 neutral and a 5 cool.
I know. I just put 5 Neutral on Bella, and I was like, "Is this your shade?"
It looks really beautiful.
No, it looks great. It looks great because I asked Bella before. I was like, "What are your shades?" But it is, you know, it's slightly warmer than Bella's natural skin tone at the moment. But I think you can do that with foundation.
Yeah.
You can sometimes go one shade up if you feel like you need that extra color. We all haven't been on holiday. We want to feel like we look a bit healthy. I feel like with foundation, I actually sometimes like to go a shade up because I want a bit more color to my skin. I think as long as you don't put too much on, so it doesn't look too dark, and also that you kind of just lightly wash. I do this with foundation and bronzer on anyone, by the way. And I just lightly wash it onto the neck, just so you can have that kind of, you don't have to, if you find your perfect match, which you will do with this foundation, you don't have to bring it down to the neck. But as a makeup artist, I actually quite like just washing a light wash on the neck. Especially if it is your wedding day, I would do this on anyone, really. I just do a light wash on the neck, depending on how high up your wedding dress is.
Right.
You know?
Right. True. You mentioned working in kind of light veils of color with this foundation, so you can build up the coverage if you'd like to, but we always kind of joke and say that it's when you're building up coverage, it's area rugs, right? Not wall-to-wall carpeting, because that's when you can get the most natural, beautiful dimension to your skin. Only putting that coverage right where you need it and allowing your skin to be a little bit more sheer where you don't need it. And then it kind of really beautiful.
It's like with your brows, like you only fill it in where the hair isn't, you know, so your brows just look more naturally bushy. It's the same with foundation. Just put the foundation where it needs to be. You know, and then leave those areas that are just beautiful skin open a bit, because it's just going to make the appearance of your skin look more natural, you know. I'm just perfect. I'm just adding a little, Bella, I hope you don't mind me saying this.
I've had a breakout.
Bella's had a little breakout. We all get it. You know, I get it.
I've got acne prone skin, but it's okay. Also, this foundation is the savior.
A lot of people can get red ears, so just kind of brush a bit of foundation. I always do this if I'm doing a celebrity on the red carpet. I always put foundation onto their ears, because suddenly on photos you can look like you suddenly have like red ears, and the rest of everything is perfect.
Especially if you get like emotional, your ears tend to flush, and on a wedding day that is bound to happen. So those ears covered. Somebody in the chat, Nusrath, said that she wore it for her wedding and didn't have to touch up at all.
No, it's such a long wear foundation. Like, honestly, I've left my house before and then realized I didn't bring any like magic away or anything with me. I'm like, oh no. And then I've come back home. I'm like, wow, I'm still flawless. Like 7 hours later.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I'm still looking so great.
I know. I mean, the amount of times I've worn this foundation to Ibiza and danced all night, and I still look flawless at 6 a.m.
Flawless and flawless.
Tried and true.
Okay, I'm gonna rush because I'm taking too long on fan. I have to stop being such a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Like, if I have time, I take a lot of time.
You just want to just do makeup forever.
That's the vibe. Okay, next I'm going to be using the Magic Away concealer. This is just gorgeous. And what I do with concealer, guys, is I just use a lighter shade, and I use this on the areas that need kind of brightening. When you use this foundation, you do not need to use a concealer around the skin. It will cover up anything that needs to be covered up. So what you need to do is just kind of get a lighter concealer stick, and this is the Magic Away. And I like to use this just underneath the eyes, like so. Maybe a little bit around the smile lines. You can kind of put a little bit down the nose, like so. And those are the kind of areas you want to brighten up. I've seen a lot of people where they kind of go just here, which is something you can do to kind of make your contour stand out a little bit more. But I'm just going to go in with my Hollywood complexion brush, and I'm just going to use this end and just tap it in.
So while Sofia is kind of melting the Magic Away into the skin, since we're on complexion, I just wanted to remind everyone that we have, if you are joining in from a store, today we have a really awesome set of qualifiers. We have in-store and .com, but in-store today, if you spend $125, you get a full-size Airbrush Flawless Foundation, which is a $44 value, which is jammin'. So 125 bucks gets you a full size AFF foundation, which is amazing. So you're already there, you already have the artist to help perfectly match you. And that's an exciting thing that we're offering in store.
Wow.
That looks really good.
So good. Yeah, guys, honestly, this flat foundation, like I couldn't live without pretty much any of Charlotte's products. But for me, I'm really prone to breakouts, and without foundation, I kind of like I get really self-conscious of my skin, and I would be really kind of, I feel so confident wearing the Hollywood Flawless Filter and the Airbrush foundation together.
I also feel like foundation is the one thing people find really hard to convert from. Like if you're using one already, people find it very hard to use another one. And like I was very hooked on the Light Wonder, and I was like, nothing's better than Light Wonder. And I still don't think, I think they're both just as good as each other. But I was like, I'm not trying this foundation, Charlotte. It's not my thing. It's full coverage. I'm a natural girl. I won't like it. And she's like, just try it. Okay, just try it. I know you're going to love it. And then I finally tried it. And then I was like, okay, you're right. It's amazing.
It's different. You know, when I'm having a really, really, really great skin day and like I'm feeling completely flawless and I don't want to, I just want to have like a natural kind of like wash of foundation, I'll use Light Wonder. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Yeah. I switch between the two every other day, honestly. They both serve such different purposes.
Okay, guys, this is the palette we're using today. This is what we're here for. Okay, I want to show you oh god, I've got foundation on that, but the packaging is beautiful. It's got a heart in the middle, which I just think is such a nice touch, and actually a heart at the back to tell you how to use it, which I think is also very sweet. But today I'm going to be using the Glowing Beauty, and I'm wearing this today, and I love this palette so much. The way it makes my eyes look, I love it. And also we do have Blush Beauty, which I wore yesterday. Yeah. Which also is a beautiful, beautiful palette. And so this is for lighter skin tones, for darker skin tones, but honestly, you really could go between two, depending on what look you really want to go for. You know, you can wear this quite lightly on the eyes. You don't have to wear it as intense. So today, before I go on, I'm not going onto the eyes, but I am going to be using, this is actually one of probably my favorite things about this palette. It's because it has one of my favorite products in here. It's got the powder. It's got the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in it. And I remember asking Charlotte for so long, I was like, I love your instant palettes because I can pop it in my clutch bag and it's so easy, but you're missing a powder in there. Like we need the powder in there. And she's actually going to pop the Airbrush Flawless powder in it. And I'll pop some on now. But this is the one product that I cannot live without. And I just use this down my T-zone and it just kind of takes away any unwanted shine. And it's just the best powder. So I'm going to use a bit of this just on Bella's T-zone, underneath her eyes, on her forehead, to kind of take away any of that unwanted shine. But it is also the most hydrating powder I've ever used in my life. It's not like a normal powder. You can reapply it throughout the day. It's not going to make your foundation go patchy. It's got beautiful ingredients like sweet almond oil and rose wax, which is quite rare for a powder. So this powder is super hydrating. Even when you get photographs, a lot of people get scared about the flashback, that you get that like white look around the face. Doesn't do that. It's just the most amazing product. And whenever I'm in LA or New York and the top makeup artists come to our events where we do like private events, makeup artists, the one product you see them grabbing into this bag, like hoovering it in, is the powder. They're like, okay, I'm just going to take 10 of those. Like it is the best powder. So I love the fact that this is in there and you can kind of just use it and top it up through the night, which is amazing.
I just remember when we were backstage at Victoria's Secret fashion show and all of us, when the models were all in the lineup with all their wings, all of us, I mean, I was like ducking underneath the wings, but we all had the powder and we were just powdering. So when they walked out, it was just perfected and flawless. And, you know, they just looked perfect under even all of those crazy lights.
Yeah.
And, you know, all the energy and stuff like that, that powder truly is amazing. And it's funny, Sophia, I'm the same thing. A lot of my makeup artist friends, even if they work for other brands, they'll kind of come up to me and it's like, hey, like, let me go. And I'm like, no problem.
Literally. And the great thing about it, guys, as well, is that, you know, with open pores, it like fills in the pores. Like it, suddenly your pores just disappear and you look like you have smooth skin and you don't have pores anymore. Like that's what this powder does. And sometimes on my lazy days, I just wear a bit of powder and a bit of Hollywood Flawless filter, and that's my thing. Right. But I love this. And it's quite funny. They're so different products, both of them, but they both do the work. So I'm just using this around the T-zone. So I'm leaving all the high points dewy and glowy, and I'm just using this around the smile lines, around the chin, around the mouth. Actually, I like to kind of brush a bit of powder around the brows, just because when you're coming to do a brow, if it's too much foundation and it's a little too wet, you're going to find it really hard to create a brow. It's going to slip and slide. So a little trick that I like to do is to kind of put a bit of powder through the brows, and it's going to be much easier to create a brow look. So I just kind of do that, and it really, really does help me out.
I know, I'm going to put some powder on too. Are you going to do brows next?
Yeah.
Woo! Oh my God.
The supermodel brows.
I mean, you guys are really putting me to the test doing brows now. I feel like brows is the one thing that always takes people time, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you say that, but Charlotte, like, I actually don't take that long to do my brows anymore. Charlotte's with her like 4 brow products that we have, like, honestly, like, you achieve such an incredible brow so easily. Like, the texture of the products, the system, the fill fat, the fix that she's provided, it's honestly like we've finally been able to start doing our brows a lot quicker, you know? Yeah, they really are amazing.
I'm just putting some on Bella's chest. Also, Bella may look a little pale right now and I look tan, but I do have a full face of makeup on. I will go in with contour blush and then suddenly she will look
like a glowing
alive again. Okay, so brows. I'm going to be using the new brow collection. It still feels fairly new to me.
Yeah, it is still new. Yeah. It was only April.
Oh yeah, there we go. And I'm going to be using the brow cheek pencil. This is new. This is just my everyday brow pencil. It's amazing. It's got an amazing little brush at the end. And then you've also got your little pencil. And you can just create really natural, amazing hair strokes. So what I do with the brows is, this is the thing that I always usually do. Bella naturally has quite full brows. She just needs a bit of defining, a bit at the front, a bit at the end to kind of taper them a bit. So what I like to do is brush them up to see the shape. This gives me a good, it gives me a good kind of idea of where I need to place the brow pencil. Yeah. So the one thing I always do is kind of brush up the brows. Also, it gives you a bit of an eye lift, and who doesn't want that? You know, who doesn't want a bit of a
brows lift? Are literally that they are, like Charlotte says, the pillars of the face, and it's amazing what brows can, like, how much it can change your face. Like, sometimes when I haven't done my brows, I feel like I look a bit sad sometimes. For me, I need to bring up my arch a bit more to bring out my eyes.
So what I like to do is I kind of like to do soft strokes of this at the front. And if I go a bit too dark or a little too intense, I'm fine. I've got the brush to just brush it out. Like, it's okay if you take it a little too far, go in with the brush and you can brush it out. It's very easy. So that's what I like to do. And I'm with Bella. Bella's naturally got the fullness all around here, and she's got gorgeous brows, but she just needs a bit of definition right at the end and just a bit of filling in at the front. Everyone's brows are different. I'd say if you've got, maybe you've plucked out all your brows and you kind of just really need to kind of draw on a brow, then you've always got, which is the one, Barry, the one that's
brow lift.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 2 brow pencils and then 2 different brow gels. So what Sofia is using is the brow cheat. And this has like that tiny little brow sword is what Charlotte likes to call it, because it really, I mean, truly creating the tiniest, like, you know, hair-like strokes. You can really get in there and make it look very, very natural. And the brow lift is a little bit more of a larger kind of pencil. So if you need to fill in, like Sofia was saying, if you accidentally over tweezed in high school, as most of us have probably made the mistake if you're over the age of 30, then that one is going to be really great to just quickly fill in. And then you can even kind of grab this one and just add, like, I can probably put another one here, just a little bit of a brow hair. See how natural that is?
It's amazing. Wow. You've got such great brows.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I also have a mustache and a goatee, so it comes into play. Take it where you can get it. That looks so pretty.
Oh, look, guys. See, that was super quick.
How quick.
And that's Yeah, this is actually Bella's good brow.
Yeah,
this is the one that's
this is
hard.
the hard brow.
This is the hard.
It's always
brow.
a hard
This one is like you can do, and this one I do in literally 30 seconds. This one I literally sometimes want to cry in the mirror. I'm like,
yeah. So look, guys, what I've done here is I've basically, this is a trick that I always do on everyone. The front should always be quite soft and shadowed. Don't go too hard in with your pencil. Kind of lightly brush it up. Do an upward like brush like hair strokes. If it's too hard, you're fine. You've got your brush it out. Keep this very light and kind of let it gradually grade into a darker brow, because then it's going to have more of a natural effect. Towards the end, I feel like this is kind of one of my signature things that I like to do to people. And this is something that I always like to do on like any celebrity clients. And I do it on myself all the time. And this is one thing I really notice a massive difference within my own face when I do it on myself, is kind of giving yourself a bit of like a lift on the side. So what I do is I don't naturally follow where the brow hairs end. I kind of go above it, and that's going to cheat your brow, and it's going to give you that just little lift, and it's going to give you a brow lift. And I think this is something that I do on all my celebrity clients, and every time I do it on them, they're like, oh yeah, I like that looks good. Like I feel like it's something little but makes the massive difference to your face. Like suddenly it just kind of lifts everything and your face looks a lot different. So what I like to do here is just kind of cheat it as it gets to the arch. I do brush strokes and go upwards and kind of create a bit of an arch and then lift it up. So I don't follow where the hairs end, I lift it up, and then that will create a arched lifted brow, which I really like, and I think it's very useful looking as well.
That's such a great tip, and especially too, most people have asymmetrical brows, so that's a really great tip to try to, you know, kind of balance them out if you need to, and just really kind of give yourself that little instant eye lift. It's all about the placement and the techniques for it to, I mean, it's like we always say, you want to wear your brows, you don't want your brows to wear you. And how Sofia is kind of walking you through this with just, you know, flicking the little brow hairs, brushing up. Another way that we usually will kind of help to map out a brow, because like, let's say that you're like, I have no idea where to start or where to arch it or where to end it. The Brow Cheat is a great product because it is so thin that if you lean it on the corner of your nose and you go up right to the inner part of your eye, that's where your brow should start. If you keep it on the corner of your nose and you go right across your pupil, that's where your brow should arch. And if you keep it on the corner of your nose and you go out to the corner of your eye, that's where your brow should end. So that's a really great way at home to kind of map it out. And you can even go, okay, that's where it needs to be. Let me make a little flick. That's where my arch needs to be. Let me make a little flick. That's where the tail should be. Let me make a flick. And then you're just kind of connecting the dots. And it's a no fail way to make sure that your brow is perfect and it fits your face shape. And that's kind of the biggest thing, right? You want your brows to look like your brows, not somebody else's.
100%, 100%. And the only reason why I didn't do that trick is because I think it's just naturally embedded in my head. So
you've done Bella's makeup so many times, you know, you could do it in your sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
okay,
so beautiful.
Bella's brows are done. Look, I did them as best as I can because I really want to get along to the amazing palette and show you guys how amazing that is. So I am doing this quick. The product I'm going to use next is honestly one of my favorite products. I'm wearing it now on my brows and it's amazing. And this is the Brow Fix. It's an eyebrow gel. I love this. It really kind of keeps your brows in place for the whole day. And I just kind of use this and brush up the brows. And I know everyone's very into that laminated brow look at the moment. But this kind of gives you brow lamination, but in the most natural way. Like it's amazing. It literally just laminates your brows. It lifts them. It keeps them in place.
And Sofia, you couldn't live without the Brow Fix.
Honestly, this is one product
Sofia was also begging Charlotte for so long. She's like, we need a clear brow gel.
I know, I was getting so angry at her. I was like,
why are you making
a brow gel? Come on.
I just remember when you were testing it, Sofia, and you went to Pilates and had it in, and afterwards, like, your brows still looked perfect, and you had to like run into the offices and be like, everybody look at my eyebrows. Like, this is after Pilates. They're still exactly in place.
Honestly, I was shocked. I was like, okay.
We've done it.
Because I was like, I don't know if you're going to get a better brow gel that's like, I was like, I already find it really hard to find amazing brow gels. And I was like, how are we going to find an amazing one? And this one, when I tried it, I was like, I'll give it a go. And this one was just amazing. So I've got this, I've got it on, I've just kind of brushed it on, and I've actually need to use a bit here, on Bella's brows here. And then sometimes, you know, if your brows are a little longer, you can just kind of scoop them on the side.
No, mine are.
Bella's got very long. Bella's just got the most amazing eyebrows. They just need little tweaks here or there. Let me see. Do you know what? If it's not perfect, it's fine. I'll do it later. And I'm gonna do guys, I'm gonna do a post of everyone's looks today. So whoever's recreating this look today, please post it on Instagram and use the hashtag Sofia Tilbury Makeup Magic. And I will be reposting everyone's looks. And please do it, because I really want to see everyone's looks. Also, okay, so I have done the brows, eyes. Let's get on to eyes.
Yeah. So this palette, it is amazing.
Oh my God.
You're upset. The way that like smoke shade contours your eyes, it's just insane.
It honestly is one of my favorite. Look, I'm getting really hot underneath these lights. I'm just going to add a bit of powder, which I really need. And look, you guys can reapply this powder, and it's
just so blurring. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, so eyes. So I do this a little differently, I say. I kind of go in, I'm going to go in with the first shade, and I'm actually going to use my finger for this. I like to go between brushes and fingers. So as long as you guys, whenever doing makeup, you need to have both these brushes. You need a blender and you need a smudger. I can't do makeup without them. It's so important to have good brushes, you know, and it really does make a difference when doing makeup, having these types of brushes. So what I'm going to do is go in with my finger with the first shade. And this shade is just like, I don't know how to, it's like a peachy, golden, champagne-y shade. And it's just like the perfect shade. Like, it's so gorgeous on. And this is a shade I'd actually probably use on anyone on their wedding day. It's just so beautiful.
And the texture is really amazing.
And what I do and what I do with the eyes is I just kind of use my finger and I just tap it onto the lid, like so. Then I go in with this brush and I just blend it out. That is exactly what I do. I blend it out. So I'm just going backwards and forwards like a windscreen wiper, and then blending it upwards, like so. Here we go. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on the other eye. You can go in with your finger and blend it out. You can just go straight in with the brush and blend that out. And what I do with this is I always kind of take it slightly upwards, past where the eye ends, and create like a soft cat eye, I'd say, just a very soft cat eye. If you feel like you've added too much, just go in with your finger and blend it out. That's as easy as it is. Also, with light shades like this, you really can't go wrong.
No.
So it's very easy.
It's foolproof.
Yeah. And I feel like with wedding makeup, like it isn't like you always have these kind of gorgeous light shades. They're never too dark. So it's quite easy.
I think also the best part about these types of shades that have that really beautiful sheen to them is that they almost kind of naturally highlight and shadow on themselves because you have that sheen. So as Sofia's kind of pulling the shadow out, depending on the light that Bella's in, it's going to almost look like she has a little subtle contour or a little subtle highlight, because it really kind of does the work for, I mean, you just saw Sofia put that on with her finger and then just like softened it. And I love that our products are so finger friendly too, because, you know,
I could do my whole face of makeup with my fingers.
Yes. And that's the best thing. I mean, it's like, we're professional makeup artists. We have a disrespectful amount of brushes, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, you don't want to carry all those around. You want to just have the staples that you need and be able to just kind of work in a pinch. And that looks so stunning and so flawless. Like, I don't think
even just this, you know, like it's just such like a versatile palette, you know, like even you could just use this shade on, pop it on during the day.
Honestly, like if this is just going to be your wedding day palette and just your everyday palette. If you are in a rush, 5 minutes, I need to get ready, just do that top, bit of mascara, done.
It's a challenge.
You know, really easy. Also, Charlotte always says she's kind of taken herself out of the job with these palettes, you know, because she's kind of like paired a blush and an eye and everything together. So it's like you almost don't need a makeup artist with these palettes because it's all here in this, and it's just super easy. So I've just used the first shade here. This is the first shade. I just love that shade so much.
It's so
How
beautiful.
beautiful
It's
is that
such a
shade?
beautiful shade.
Your
It's
eye
so-
color just looks like electric all of a sudden.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. This shade, it's got like a hint of that peachy warmth in it and the gold. And I just think it's so beautiful. Now,
Nice.
one thing that I could do, so this is for darker skin tones. You could use this and use it to kind of contour the eye. I am going to slightly use it to contour, but I still want this look to be really ethereal and natural. So anyone there that has a darker skin tone, I'd say you can use this as a contour and just use this lightly, or you can kind of build it up if you've got a darker skin tone. If you've got a lighter skin tone, be a bit more gentle with this, depending if you want a smoky eye, but I think you would want more of a lighter look. So when taking this with any dark shade, I always go in and then I just kind of pat it off on the side of my hand to make sure.
That's trick I ever learned from Sofia.
It's easier to build an eye look than to try and take away like stuff. So like better to just slowly build than to just put it in and then be like, I've added too much, I need to take it down. So like go in, tap it on the side of your hand. And then what I like to do is I like to add this just in the root of the socket of the eye and kind of keep it just from where the eye ends to the middle of the eye. And I'm not going to bring it too close to the front because I want the front to kind of be light and bright. And this is just going to kind of make your eyes look bigger by adding dimension into the socket of the eye. And you can see it doesn't look too dark. And that's because I've tapped it on the side of my hand. And I haven't just gone in and really gone in there. I lightly tap onto the palette. And then the other thing that I like to do is close your eyes, is kind of do a V shape. And like a V shape's like this. So across the socket and down to the corner of the eye and then winging it out. And again, look, if it gets too strong, just go in with your finger and tap it out. But just by creating that little V shape, it adds like a cat eye effect, which makes your eyes just look bigger and longer. But honestly, I think I really would only close your eye. And look, guys, I'm doing this pretty quickly. Like this isn't, it's not hard. Like this palette is super easy. The textures of these matte shadows and the shimmer shadows are really, really easy to work with. They don't go patchy. So look, that is probably what I would do for a wedding look. I want to keep it really fresh still. And you know what, with this palette, say you're getting, if you probably will be getting married in the day. But if you want to amp it up for the evening and you want to kind of make your look a bit more like going out, you can just go back in with your palette and go a little extra.
Love, I feel like that is like everybody, if you're getting married, like why not do like a Celine Dion moment and come back with like another outfit for the reception or like change part of your look or something, you know, like
I'm gonna do that.
totally. And I was gonna say that this palette kind of similar to our foundation, right? It's like you can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can build up more coverage, you can make it more, you know, kind of natural and ethereal as Sofia's doing Bella's, or you can really make it more of like that smoky eye. So that could like so you said, that could be your transition. Another qualifier that I wanted to share is that speaking of shadows, so Sofia is using this guy, the Look of Love palette in Glowing Beauty. There is one of our luxury palettes called Queen of Glow right here. And with this guy, if you're in store, if you spend $225, then you get the full-size airbrush foundation and you also get this. So that's a $97 value.
That's insane. That's amazing.
I know, isn't that crazy?
And you're wearing the Queen of Glow now, aren't you, Barry?
Yes, yeah, I have this one on right now, Queen of Glow, and similar to how Sofia is doing Bella's, I did it a little bit more focused on the top two lighter shades, and then kept that kind of, you know, Merlot sort of a matte color more as like my eyeliner, so that it still is, you know, wedding appropriate. But hey, I might go in the bathroom and kick it up a notch because, you know, I'm into that. Here's the two together so you can kind of see the difference. So Sofia's using this one. This is the one that I have on. And again, with a $225 purchase, you get this and you get your full-size AFF for free, which is jamming. And for those of you that are not in store, Online, we also have qualifiers. So if you spend $175, you get a full size magic cream as part of a thank you. And then there's more that's coming, but I'll save it because that's more of the lip category. So we gotta, you know, keep you waiting for a little bit more. But that looks unreal, Sophia.
I'm literally just so what I did was I added a bit of the darker shade just in the inner corner, just there underneath. I haven't dragged it all the way. I just added it just on the corner lightly. I'm going in with my favorite shade of this palette. Oh my God, this shade. Actually, I don't know what my favorite one is, but I love this one because I haven't really seen a shade like this. It's like a pop that has like this kind of, it's not silver, but this like glitter that goes through it that really makes your eyes pop. Like it really does. And it just looks, it's got like a, not silver, it's like a light glitter with like a copper glitter going through it. And it just really makes your eyes pop. And I'm just tapping this on the center of Bella's lid and kind of slowly bringing it up on the brow bone, just slightly, just in the center, giving her a bit of like a haloed effect by bringing it just in the center. And this is just going to really make, look, show on the camera. This is going to really make Bella's eyes just like pop. And just by adding that, it's just, oh, I love it. This is my favorite.
Amazing. It's such a beautiful shade.
Okay, right. So, okay, there we go. So Bella's got that on her eyes. And guys, that is such a beautiful shade. Trust me, you're going to fall in love with that. Next, I'm going to do is eyeliner. Now, eyeliner on wedding days, there's so many different ones you can use depending on your skin tone. So I would always go, if you're on the paler side, on the fairer side, I would go with light brown. So I would either go with your classic brown, what's the sparkly brown one called again? It's
the bronze.
Yeah.
The copper charge.
No, the bronze brown. I don't know.
Bronze brown. Yeah, that's right.
And then you've also got Pillow Talk, which if you're a little bit more daring, or it's not actually that daring, to be honest, it's a reddy brown liner and it pretty much will just match your shadow. So it will kind of just blend in with your eyeshadow. So I think Pillow Talk is a really, really amazing choice. Especially it makes all your eyes pop. So like if you've got green eyes, I'll go greener. If you've got brown eyes, I'll go more amber. If you've got blue eyes, I'll go bluer. Like it just pops your eyes. So that is definitely an option. I will go with, you know what? I don't think there's a liner here. So I'm just going to go in with mascara for now. And I'm just going to be using the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara. This mascara is the best mascara.
Oh my God, I cannot live without this mascara. People honestly think I've gotten, what's that treatment you do to your lashes? Like is it a plan? No.
Oh, like a lash lift?
Lash lift. Everyone accuses me of getting a lash lift. And I'm like, no. The Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes, honestly, it just gives you that false lash effect. It is all these products you use, I can't live without.
Well, and it was funny too, because the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara came out during quarantine, or like actually it did come out during quarantine, but then, mask life. And I feel like when I wear this with a mask, especially, it's like people are always asking like, oh my God, do you have false lashes on? Do you have lash extensions? And it's so interesting. Do you want me to talk about the wand, Sophia, while you're doing that?
Yes, please do.
That's the tricky part.
Look. Wait, look, I've done one eye. Bella, open your eye like that. See how it's like lifted. It's like literally instantly giving Bella like a lash lift, I'd say. But
I legitimately gasped and then was embarrassed about my reaction. It's like I know what it does, but it still just like took me by surprise. So the wand, it has like a paddle shape to it. And then if you turn it to the side, it becomes more narrow. So on the paddle side, you can kind of see, if I can get my light right, there's a reservoir in the center and that holds a lot of the product. And then on the side, you have the teeth. So almost like a lash comb. So this mascara is called Push Up Lashes Mascara, right? So like a push up bra, you definitely want to make sure that you have almost an underwire to hold everything up, right? So when you're applying this, if you take that reservoir, that flat part, and just press into the root of your lash before you even start to comb it through. What that does is it kind of builds up that strength at the root of your eyelashes, because sometimes when you use lengthening mascaras and you don't do that sort of technique, you end up lengthening, but then you don't have that underwire to hold them up and everything kind of falls, right? So you want to take that reservoir and just press into the root of your lash. Then you can flip it and use the teeth on there. Like I said, it's like a, you know, kind of like a lash comb. And then with the teeth, then you're just pulling and stretching that mascara through from the root to the tip. And that the teeth on here really allow you to get a beautiful kind of like fringe to the lash, a gorgeous like separation. And you can just keep stretching and keep building. And the best part is this formula, it stays lifted, which is really exciting. So these, I mean, your lashes are going to be sky high until you wash your face and take it off. I mean, they do not falter, and they're so fluffy and just gorgeous and movable. Oh my God, Bella.
I know. Look, that is the mascara on the eyes, which just looks amazing.
So pretty.
Look down. Okay, so I've added the mascara. Now, I feel like, how much time have I got? Okay, I've got barely any time, but I feel like I need to show you a little feline flick, just because that is just a classic thing of Charlotte Tilbury, and I think it is my signature thing.
Sophia is the flick queen, honestly.
So this is just such a good trick. Now, another trick I like to do when you've applied mascara is to tightline your eyes with a brown liner. So I'm gonna do that in a sec, but I'm gonna basically show you. I'm going to be using Pillow Talk, guys. I'm going to be using Pillow Talk. The other trick you can do is, I actually really love this trick, and I've done it today on myself. You can go in with a brush like this, and you can actually create a flick with that shade if you want. So you can create a beautiful shade, and you can just make like a really, it's kind of a bit like Pillow Talk, and you can do like a faint liner with the eyeshadow.
That's what I did with the Queen of Glow. I mean, yeah. Is dirty.
You know, isn't it so good? I actually might do it now. I'm actually going to do that instead of the liner, and I'm just going to add it in and just do like a soft open, and it's just super easy to do. Close.
What are your tips for somebody who kind of gets like freaked out about getting the wings correct? Like, what's the angle? How do you find your angle on your eyes?
So what I always do is, the trick that I like is, I never really I only sometimes go over the whole lid, but I always just keep the line super thin. So I kind of base it here in the inner corner, really thin over the lid. Doesn't matter what eye shape it is. Even if someone has big eyes, I don't ever do like a really thick line, depending on the look. But if it's a wedding look, I would always keep the liner very thin over the lid. Mm-hmm. Then for the outer corner, what I always do is, when doing someone's makeup, or if you're doing your own makeup, what really helps me is to draw like a little dot of where you want it to end, because that gives you a good direction of exactly where you want it to end and where you kind of need to guide it to. The other thing that I do with my flick is I kind of always go just slightly lower than where it ends.
That again, gives you more like a bedroom eye.
Yeah.
Effect. Yeah,
exactly. But it also depends on the eye shape. But I think usually when I do people, I kind of go just slightly lower. And then when you go slightly lower, it's a little easier, because what happens as well, especially when you age, or if you've got more inset eyes, or if you've got more hooded eyes, this starts getting lower. So it starts to get a little bit more difficult. So I'd say if you just go a little lower and lift, it's easier to create a flick. Yeah. And then there's different ways. So if you've got more of a crease, there's like the Batman trick, where it looks a bit like a bat wing. And you kind of, what you always have to do is, when you're doing your flick, is always to just look in the mirror, raise your brows, look in the mirror. And then you can kind of see, I always do my flick with my eyes open. You just need to see where you need to fill in.
I always do that as well. I'm like,
I think that's the key, is a lot of us, you know, you close your eye, you're pulling it, you're tugging it, and you're trying to get it the same. And then you end up just like kind of bending it out to smithereens. And then of course it doesn't look the same. Another thing that I think can be kind of helpful with, and especially with like the Charlotte and Sofia flick, because it's a very specific type of flick, it doesn't wear you, like it almost looks like it's growing out of your eyelashes. And that's how it is so sexy and so timeless. And it really does fit your eye shape. So one of my kind of tricks that I feel like kind of helps me to explain is, if you pretend like your bottom lash line is going to wrap up and kind of intersect with the corner of your brow at some point. And if you visualize that angle, like how I'm holding the brush, that's kind of where you can create the flick, and you know it's going to be really harmonious with your brow shape, because of course you've done your brows already before you get to eyeshadow. And you know that's part of Charlotte's magic recipe of how she can do this, because when you emphasize the brows, then you end up having more space to play with the eye, because when you kind of add that lift and when you elongate the tail, you get more space on the eyelid. So sometimes if you just imagine your bottom lash line wrapping up to kind of meet the tail of your brow, then put that dot that Sophia is talking about kind of on that plane. And then it's just as simple as kind of connecting back to your lash line. I can see that on the side, just at the side of Bella's face. I can see that flick, and it is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
You know what? If they're not exactly the same, it's okay. I'm going to fix it a bit later because I'm going to get some content of this eye. But I've just quickly done. And by the way, I didn't go with Pillow Talk because I thought, you know what? I have an eyeliner here. I can use the eyeshadow as an eyeliner. So if you don't have an eyeliner, it's fine. Just get a little brush and you can just create the eyeliner. Really easy. Okay, lips. On to lips.
Lips. How stunning are these bullets of the lipsticks, which are amazing, and they're so beautiful, and they're perfect for a wedding. Like posing with it, imagine. Yeah.
And also too, I was thinking about this earlier when we were talking about these. Like, what a great gift for your bridesmaids.
I know that's. I mean, with the Bridal Registry at Bloomingdale's, I mean, what a great gift. Like, I would be so happy as a bride getting.
Oh yeah.
This makeup.
Pillow Talk 2 or Pillow Talk original?
Original, I think.
Yeah. I've got original.
Okay, great.
These also have really cute hearts that are printed on the actual lipstick, if you can kind of see right there. And really, there's no stone left unturned with how gorgeous these are. And I mean, if I was having a photographer come and document getting ready, these would absolutely have to be documented because they're just too gorgeous. With the Serum crystal, I mean, it's just, they're so pretty. So you're doing Pillow Talk Original Lip Pencil.
Yeah. And
by the way, that is like, if anybody watching has not used one of our lip cheats before, especially a Pillow Talk one, because there's the Pillow Talk Original, Pillow Talk Medium, Pillow Talk Intense. So there's different variants for everyone. This pencil is a gorgeous kind of like a gel base. So you don't need to press her. I mean, you can see how lightly Sophia is kind of sketching that pencil on Bella, and it stays, it doesn't move. Nothing bleeds. You can be eating, drinking, kissing. That lip is not going anywhere. And I mean, I wear sometimes just the pencil underneath my mask because it doesn't move.
Bella has
so good. Oh.
Bella has a little beauty mark. And another trick, guys, is when you wear foundation, if you have any little beauty marks, go in with a light brown pencil. I prefer to actually go in with a feline flick in brown and just go and place it on and just tap it in. And it just suddenly, like when your any like beauty marks show, It looks like you're not wearing foundation. So trick, fill in all those little dots, or go in with a Q-tip with a bit of makeup remover and just take them out. Just take the foundation off them, and it just makes your foundation look really natural.
So I have a friend that if she ever gets a larger blemish, she'll literally turn it into a beauty mark and be like, yeah, that's there on purpose.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to go with it, right?
So I'm using Mrs. Kisses on Bella, which is just such a gorgeous kind of peachy pink shade, and I think a lot of girls would look so beautiful with this on their wedding day, or just like a day-to-day lipstick. And this suits so many different skin tones, this specific one. And
also
go that with your lips. Go that out with yours. Yeah,
that looks so pretty. The other cool thing too is that Charlotte's been making a lot of the products refillable, so you can pop the lipstick shades out of here and you can replace them. Sometimes I know people will just kind of take this little guy if they have a tiny clutch and it's a little smaller to touch up with.
I should do that.
I know, right? Because
I'm not doing that.
Right? So you have, these are refillable, and then also our brows are refillable. So this is the brow sheet that Sophia was using. You can twist out the actual pencil part and you can replace this and hang on to this really gorgeous gold tube. And so we're saving the planet. One brow pencil Lipstick at a time.
Also, guys, if it is your wedding day, and this is a trick I do all the time, and I'm actually wearing this on my lips right now. This is probably one of my favorite products that Charlotte has ever come out with.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's changed the lip game, and I love, these are the new lip tints, and she's come out with 6 shades. These are so beautiful on. If you want to create that kind of natural, fresh French girl look, that Chloe look, these do it for you. You can just pat it on, do a light lip stain. It's almost like when you go in the bathroom and you like bite your lips because you want them to have that like natural like redness to them. You know what I mean? Like that redness that natural supermodels just have on them, like they have that. But this is kind of doing it for you. So I'm just wearing a lip tint. You can also build it up like a lipstick, like I'm doing, but it also just makes your lips look really full. And the other trick that's really good about them is that if it is your wedding day, these are a great lip primer. So if you apply this with your lip liner and then put a lipstick on top, because, you know, we're going to be drinking champagne, probably. We're going to be kissing, we're going to be having fun, eating. You don't want to be topping up your lips the whole night. So if you use this as a primer, your lips are just going to look all good all evening. So this is such a good tip, I think, for your wedding day to use this. And I think Petal Pink is the shade I would have used if I used this underneath this lipstick. But there's beautiful shades. So those are the ones I go for.
And these lipsticks too, they come, there's a few different options. So I just kind of swatched them. So this is the one, everything's backwards on Zoom. And make sure I don't point to the wrong one. That's the one that Sofia put on Bella. That's Mrs. Kisses.
The colors are so beautiful. These
so
good. They're so good. Nude Romance as well is such a beautiful kind of nudie shade. That is also suits everyone's shade, honestly, any skin tone.
Wedding Bells, I love.
I love Wedding Bells.
That one's Nude Romance. This one is Wedding Bells. That's what Bella has on right now. And then this one is, where am I? First Dance.
There's Mrs. Kisses is kind of, it literally looks like you've just been kissed. It's got that kind of like flushy rose, like so beautiful to it. And paired with the little lip liner is stunning.
The cutest name ever in life. Okay, so you're pretty much almost done. Now you're just gonna do,
now we're gonna go into bronzer and blush, guys. So I'm gonna right palette. I'm gonna go in with this bronzer here, and it is it's the same texture formula as the Film Star Bronze and Glow. It's just a different shade, but it's a beautiful shade, and it's slightly darker. So I'm just gonna use a light wash of this on Bella and then blend it out. You've also got this one in here, which I'd say is slightly lighter, but I think, you know, with this shade, when you blend it out, it just looks like a gorgeous tan. So I'm just going to use this with my sculpting brush, and I'm going to lightly sculpt Bella's cheekbones like so. And you can see how it's just like trick with contour. Okay, I'm going to tell you the trick. Stuck your cheekbones in and follow the hollow. And the other trick is to not drag it down. You don't want your face to look really long. You want it to just look sculpted. So the trick is to kind of just go just underneath the cheekbone, and then I slightly just go lightly on the cheekbone, I'd say, you know,
to give that kind of natural
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because then it kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Gives you that snatched look. Then I'm going to go just underneath the jawline like so. And this is great. You know, if you've been eating a lot in lockdown, you want to hide that double chin.
I taught my grandma that trick like 10 years ago. And every time I see her, she's like, remember when you taught me? And I'm like, yeah, I sure do. I'm like, I do that every single day.
Okay, so
I think the other thing too is you can see that Sofia isn't using a ton of the bronzer. She's really just working in very, very kind of light veils of color, like we've been talking about this whole time, right? Like that really is you know, an element to make to make your makeup look like you and dimensional, but not overdone or not overwhelming. And by using just a really small amount, you really can kind of just dance that on the skin, you know, bring out your facial features and not have it be too harsh, because you can always add more if you want to.
Exactly. Look, here I've gone in a little extra, but I'm going to go in with a different brush and just buff it out a bit, which always helps me. I always like to have a couple brushes, guys, because if one has too much product, you can just get another one and buff it out.
I do that sometimes when I go to Intense with the dark with eyeshadows.
And then I'm just going to go in with my blusher brush, actually. I like to use this for the temples of the forehead. And just use this right on the forehead, on the temples. which is just gonna kind of.
It's so beautiful because it's realistic and it's subtle. It just looks, Bella, you look like you. It just looks more dimensional.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like it's finding the lights and the shadows in your face and just like accentuating your natural features, which is what Charlotte's aim is, you know. She always says beautiful before, beautiful after, and what she wants to do is really kind of just like enhance everyone's beautiful natural features.
Right.
Bella suddenly looks alive again.
Yeah, I was looking a bit tired and down.
That is so pretty. Are you going to use that same brush for the blush when you get into the blush?
Yeah.
Or do you do a different one?
And look, I'm kind of wiping off all the product onto her neck and chest, so it's going to be pretty clean when I get into the blush.
That's a good trick.
Okay, great. So that's on. I'm actually going to go in with a little bit more powder, guys, because this is something I just do in general. And I just put it a little bit more on the T-zone to give myself a bit more of that flawless look. Right here. And now I'm going to go in with the blush. Now, I feel like blush is such a trend at the moment. And I feel like I see it on TikTok. I see it on Instagram. I feel like makeup has completely changed in 2021, especially through lockdown. And there's one thing I've really enjoyed actually watching. I've actually enjoyed the way makeup has been changing a bit. And it's gone to more the natural side, I'd say.
Which is like your vibe.
Yeah, and like the one thing I do love, I love seeing all like the young girls on Instagram doing these gorgeous natural makeup looks. Like I get really inspired. And the one thing I really love, and I've actually picked up, and I wasn't doing for a while, is that look of blush when you put it on your cheeks, but you lightly glide it along your nose to give yourself that natural like flush and like that sun-kissed look. I think it's such a pretty natural look. So I'm going to do it with that blush, and I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go in with my blusher brush. Again, with blusher, tap it off on your hands before applying it. And I'm going to just naturally put this onto Bella's, just above. I like to actually add it on her cheekbone. Just here on the apples of her cheeks, like so. You can kind of, I actually sometimes like to go up here with blush.
No, blush can really cheat like your facial structure, like where you place blush. That's what that's what I've learned from TikTok as well. Like there's all these like blush hacks you can really make your cheekbones look higher, or you can define your face even with.
To be fair, I actually learned it all from Charlotte. Charlotte taught me all this stuff before TikTok.
No, 100%.
But I'm just adding it here, and then I literally have like natural, like kind of like just flush from Love. I love this blush because it's got like a slight peachiness to it. Another trick of blush, don't go too low, because suddenly again you're giving yourself like a face, like the opposite to a facelift, like you're dragging it down. So just like put it just on the apples of the cheeks, on the cheekbones, like so, and then go in with your little sculpting brush, which is right here. Sorry. And go in the blusher shade, tap it off, and then you can slightly go over.
I love this natural little sunburn look. I also do it with the tinted loves as well, like with Petal Pink and with even Tripping on Love. You can really cheat a little sunburn, and that's better than a real sunburn because you don't want to really burn your skin because it's so aging.
I just think it's so cute and pretty.
It's like just very fresh.
I feel very sweet with it, you know, like I feel like a school girl in love. It kind of it gives you that kind of glow, that kind of love glow.
Oh, that's so good. Well, and it's funny too, because I agree, like with how kind of makeup has been changing in this last year. I feel like people are kind of scaling back and they're really leaning into techniques that just look maybe more emotional versus more curated, if that makes sense. And I think that's why blush is so cool. I remember when I first started doing makeup, I was like, man, you totally don't need blush, because I was like so intimidated by it. And I'm like, I'm gonna make everyone look crazy.
I was so intimidated by blush for such a long time. And I was like, loads of my friends used it, and I was like, no, not for me. And then I said that to Charlotte, and Charlotte like showed me. She was like, you just got to put it here on the apple of the cheekbones. And I honestly, suddenly I was like, how did I live without blush?
Honestly, I think I was intimidated by blush because I naturally have redder skin. So I think a lot of people who have natural red tones in their skin, you do back away from blush because you're like, I don't want my skin to look any redder. Like, and blush does freak me out and did always freak me out. But I think with the AFF foundation, using that, because I use a neutral shade, I use 5 neutral, and it neutralizes my red.
Right.
Meaning I can use a blush because it's covered up any redness. So when I wear that foundation, I feel happy to wear a blush.
Well, and it makes you look, I mean, blush recreates like a visceral response. Like if, you know, if a hot guy compliments me, I'm like, oh, and like, maybe I'll flush a little bit. If I see like a hot pair of shoes, I'm like, ooh, I need those. Like it's an emotional reaction. And so when you add that part back on, it makes you just look like you have less makeup on in a way, which is kind of counterintuitive, but it totally does that. It just makes your skin just look healthy and like glowing and fresh. And while Sofia is finishing that, the last qualifier that I want to share with everyone, because I said there was one more, if you are a gloss person, and this is what you want to be able to kind of seal the deal on your wedding day or just any other day, this is on .com and this is also in store. So if you spend $395, you get 2 different shades of this collagen lip bath. You get the peachy plump and the rosy glow. So you get 2 of these. And also these, they have this incredible like peppermint scent to them. The wand looks like a little heart, which is the cutest thing ever. So they're a really natural kind of lip plumper at the same time. Actually, I'll put some on so you can see how this gloss looks. It's so comfortable. It really feels like a lip oil as opposed to a lip gloss. And so you get the 2 shades of that. You also get, don't forget, the in-store, the Queen of Glow, and then the AFF. So if you spend $395 in store, you get all 3 of these full size plus an extra one of the collagen lip baths. And if you are on .com, $395, you get both of these and that full size magic cream, because this guy is the $175 qualifier. So there, I mean, we're pretty much just giving the farm away. I know Charlotte is as generous as humanly possible. And so she wanted to make sure that everybody had plenty of treats and gifts. And oh my God, Sofia, Bella.
She's done.
I'm done. I mean, you are, she is a genius. We all know that.
Absolutely.
I love you.
I know.
I'm just adding a bit of setting spray to lock in that glow.
I'm sorted for my wedding.
Lock in that glow, guys. This is the best to keep your makeup in place.
Literally, it stays all day. I mean, we've done these tests before where you put on like eyeshadows and you spray it on, and it literally does not move. And Charlotte has a scented one as well.
It smells amazing.
I know, it gives you that kind of olfactory experience.
Also, normally with any like setting spray, normally it smells like an alcohol. It smells strong. Like you almost don't want to put it on your face.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that.
No, this smells like vacation.
Bella's look is done, guys. I want Bella to come a little closer so you can see the natural flush. And it's just very natural, guys. It's just, honestly, it's this Look of Love collection. Like you really can't go wrong with it. You can see like it's so beautiful on honestly, all the lipsticks.
I'm gonna have fun tonight.
Both of these eyeshadow palettes, you know, I've got both just because I like wearing both of them. All the lipsticks are just such an amazing, it's, you know what, guys, it's not just for your wedding day. I'd say it's just an everyday look as well. It's so beautiful. Sure. It's so easy. And you
and that's what we didn't tell everybody on here. We were talking before the masterclass started, and Bella actually has a date tonight. So she is perfect and ready to go. And she is just, I mean, look how hot she looks.
I know.
So thank you guys.
Made me blush, honestly.
I know. Thank
Honestly,
you for joining us. This was so much fun. Sophia, you are an absolute genius. Bella, you look incredible.
But it is so easy to use. Honestly, you guys can all achieve this. Like, I mean, I've learned a lot of tricks from Sophia, but this palette is so prescriptive, so easy. And it's literally, it is like what it says when it's on the pack. It's an instant look in a palette and it can take you anywhere.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Honestly, quick and easy makeup. That's what we're about.
Yeah.
Quick and easy. And so I know Ariel from Bloomingdale's is joining us back here. So I'm going to say goodbye and bid everyone.
Thank you so much, Barry. Honestly, guys, Barry is the most amazing makeup artist that I've worked with. You know,
we love you.
I love you and thank you for doing this masterclass with me.
I love both of you so much. This was so much fun. And then hopefully one of these days we'll see you in real life again.
Love you.
Bye. Love you.
Sofia, Bella, and Barry, thank you so much for joining us today. I feel like I've learned so much. Bella,
good.
Absolutely stunning.
Thanks.
Your makeup is amazing, and I can't wait to recreate this look on myself at home.
Oh my God, we can't wait to see it.
Yes.
We can't wait for everyone to recreate this look at home. You guys, it is.
Yeah, we hope you post it and do the hashtag Sofia Tilbury Makeup Magic so I can be reposting all of your gorgeous looks on Instagram, please.
Yes, definitely don't forget to hashtag it and post your look. We want to see all of you guys recreating this. But before we wrap up, we have one more audience question for you. Someone wants to know what inspired you to become a makeup artist.
Oh my God, this is like the hardest question ever.
I can answer it.
What is it?
For you.
Yeah.
Sophia is an incredibly talented. She always used to paint when she was younger.
Yeah.
And then she started painting faces.
Yeah. Well, for me, you know what? I've always loved art. I've always been quite a creative person, I'd say. Maybe not as academic.
Yeah, you are.
No, I was more into the arts. And you know, I did a fashion internship. I did photography and painting at school. I did a BTEC course where I did 12 different art subjects. And I always liked painting faces. And what I used to do at school is I used to get all of Charlotte's covers and I would like kind of recreate the looks on my friends. And then I'd photograph them afterwards. And it kind of makes a lot of sense now because I do makeup looks and then I photograph them afterwards, or they get photographed. And then Charlotte said to me, why don't you come work with me? And I think Charlotte was my inspiration really to become a makeup artist. You know, she showed me the way. And yeah, I think she is probably the inspiration of
she is such an inspiration.
She's such an inspiration. She's also my aunt. And I think Charlotte was my biggest inspiration becoming a makeup artist.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's so nice. And so thank you everyone. For those of you watching at home, we'll be sending a list of all of the products mentioned here today. So be sure to keep an eye on your inbox after the event. And thank you all for tuning into Bloomingdale's On Screen. We hope to see you again soon.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bloomingdale's.
Bye.